down, this is one of the greatest films I've ever seen. It was literally everything I wanted. Everything. It was everything.
It touched my heart, so it's really strong and powerful, you know. I'm still processing everything.
Well, for more on the Avengers' marvellous opening weekend, let's bring in Editor-at-large Craig Copetas, who's in Paris. Hi, Craig. I've got a confession to make. I haven't seen any of the Avengers movies, so I don't go into this discussion with any sort of bias. But you did actually see the last instalment. Now, what was all the fuss about? Why was it such a box office hit around the world?
Boffo, baby, standing room only. Look, this weekend, more than 100 million people around the world bought tickets, right? That's the population of Egypt, Oscar. 100 million people is more than the population of France, Germany, and larger by quite a country mile than the population of Turkey. It's just really popular and captivating, and you get your money's worth for 3 hours and 1 minute of it.
Yes, and Disney, of course, who owns the Marvel Studios, certainly got their money's worth. I mean, what is the secret to their success, do you think?
Well, Disney, holds all but one of the top 12 box office openings of all time. And Disney has managed to scoop up the Marvel franchise, and that's really where it is, because all 22 films in the Marvel cycle have made a lot of money, and of course they also own the Star Wars cycle. So Disney's really the company that gets people coming back to theaters instead of staying home and watching stuff over Netflix and on their iPad.
Yeah, let's talk about that streaming issue, because I think recently a lot of people are wondering what sort of a threat that will have on Hollywood and I guess the traditional cinematic industry. Does this prove that there is still a market for big blockbusters that only Hollywood can create?
If you can make a movie like this, you betcha. Look, of that 1.2 billion worldwide, 90.1 million of it was at IMAX cinemas, the big cinema. You can watch all the movies, Sleepless in Seattle or whatever on your little iPhone or iPad or whatever. But to really get the full force of what a movie's about with Dolby sound, a giant screen, a box of popcorn. And by the way, this is a 3 box of popcorn movie. You really need to go into a theater. And then when you look at what happened this weekend, Oscar, this is the biggest weekend in popcorn history.
Yes.
It is just huge, and it's going to grow. It could, there were reports. Someone told me this morning that the Loch Ness Monster came out of hiding to go and see it, and I don't doubt the report.
And Craig, just quickly, I mean, as we know, this is the last of the Avengers franchise. Is Disney really just killing the goose that's laying the golden eggs? Do you think they should string it out a bit more?
Oscar, you need to get out to the movies more. Nobody dies in the Marvel universe, and certainly not in science fiction. Now, I'm not going to give away the plot, but go see it.
I think I will. I've got a bit of catching up to do. Now, just as a final thought, what can other movie studios learn from the Marvel Studios experience, and I guess Disney more broadly?
Well, on the business side, Oscar, every studio, every producer wants to have a Endgame, a Marvel type movie, or a Star Wars type franchise. They all say, "Do that, get me that." They can say it, but they're really, really hard to manufacture. They take time, they take effort, and they take money. Now, look, real briefly, you know, DC Comics, Superman, that whole franchise, that's not doing too well. DC Comics had a movie on the screens this weekend called Shazam. It came in at number 7. I think it took in about $6 or $7 million.
Right. Now, okay, Craig, I think we can squeeze in one more question. I want to bring up Star Wars, which, as you pointed out, is another successful franchise that Disney has managed to usurp. I mean, the latest one is going to be coming out this year. That looks like it's just going to keep on going every year now. Can the same thing happen in Marvel Studios, do you think? Is there space for that to happen?
Yeah, first of all, Marvel has more characters than Star Wars could ever dream of. They have a Spider-Man film coming out in July. There's more films coming out, another Guardians of the Galaxy with my favorite character, Rocket the Raccoon. The Star Wars franchise, the Hollywood press says, is going to go to sleep for a while after the third installment comes out this Christmas, and then come back. But where they make their money still is merchandise and rides at the Disney theme parks.
Okay, Craig, we'll have to leave it there, but thanks so much. I've got some catching up to do, I think. Craig Copetas in Paris.